Hi, Facebook community, family, and friends. We're sitting here today. I'm sitting here with my three daughters, Jasmine Townsend, Lolita Townsend, and Andrea Townsend. As you all know, and we all know that there's been a real tragic death in Jasper, Texas, the Alfred Wright death. And it's brought back a lot of memories for my family because we lost our loved one, James David Simmons in Jasper, Texas, March the 5th, 2005. And we're sitting here today to make a plea to the community, to the black community of Jasper, Texas. Our family needs answers. We need to find out what happened to our loved one. We need to find out why he was murdered and why the murder was covered up by the Jasper Police Department. It's taken 8 years that this murder has been unsolved. We've just come to a point that we think that it's time to bring justice to Jasper, Texas. Not only Hemphill, Texas, but Jasper, Texas as well, because they're sister towns. They're less than 30 minutes apart from one another. And as you know, there's been a lot of murders in Jasper, Texas that's been unsolved. And some of them, sad to say, have been black on black crime. I have to say that racism is a real bad issue. It's horrible. It's a disgrace before God. What happened to Alfred Wright? Nobody's child should be done that way. It is just a total disgrace. And we have to realize that when things like this happen in our community, and when it's white on black crime or black on white crime, especially racism in the manner that it was done and to be covered up, that we have a very serious problem going on. We really do. And it seems like in Texas, hate to say it, but a lot of this stuff is being gotten away with and it's being covered up by authorities. And also, I have to say that black on black crime is not being addressed. It's not being addressed at all. Like I said, we're here to make a plea to the community for somebody to speak up, because in my heart, I feel and I know that the community of Jasper and surrounding areas knows what happened to my brother, James Simmons, on March the 5th, 2005. God has given me the strength to pursue this matter, because I say that because looking at the Alfred Wright case and the situation brought back memories. It dug up memories inside of me, and it brought out strength inside of me to say, go forward. You can do something about this. You don't have to sit and be silent and have an injustice to be done to your family. This is a very hard thing for me to talk about. This is not scripted. This is straight from the heart. There's just a lot of pain behind it. And I know a couple other families in Jasper are dealing with this too as well. A couple other people have been killed and nothing's been done about it. It's been covered up. Nobody had to pay for the crime. A couple people have been murdered in which they said it was a suicide. I don't feel that that's true at all. I feel like the Jasper Police Department cannot be trusted, and they have their hands in dirt just as Hemphill Police Department. So today, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to reach out to the community, because I need answers for the Simmons family, for my daughters, for my mom, for my father. James was a loving person. He had a family. He did not deserve to be brutally murdered in the manner which he was murdered in. And I feel like with the case that's going on right now, with the Alfred Wright situation, God bless his soul, that exposure is coming and exposure is on the way. And I feel like by reaching out to you, that it may touch you in your hearts to say, well, I need to speak out. And we realize that you feel like you can't go to the Jasper Police Department and speak out. So therefore, we will be hiring attorneys. We will be hiring attorneys to get on this case, not from the Jasper, Texas area, and we will be hiring investigators. If so need to be, the same lawyers, investigators that are working the Alfred Wright's case because they're so familiar and they're so close together. So I would like for my daughter to read this statement that she wrote to you, making a plea to the community. So if you all would listen, I appreciate it very much.
I would like to reach out to the community of Jasper, Texas, where our loved one James Simmons was murdered on March 7, 2005. We are asking that you will support us in efforts to bring justice to James Simmons. He was brutally murdered. The murder was concealed and is being covered up to look like a hit and run, which is not true whatsoever. We have had no cooperation from Jasper Police Department. The autopsy was performed by Dr. Tommy Brown, who was told by Jasper Police Department to not speak to the family at all about anything. FBI Donnie Young was another person that was involved. He was called in after the family wanted answers. Young told the family that there was no foul play at all in the death of James Simmons, but the family feels that there was, and his death was indeed a homicide, not an accident at all. The community is speaking to the family and one another, but will not speak to the Jasper Police Department because they can't be trusted and may have some involvement in covering up this murder. There are people that witnessed this crime, but they are in some type of fear or retaliation from the murderer. We are asking all of the Facebook community that knows the truth to please open up about this murder so we can move forward with the lawyers and investigation to expose Jasper Police Department and the cover-up of the murder of James Simmons. We need your help. If this were your family, you would want the same help. Many of you may know the people involved or even be friends with someone who even knows what happened, and they need to speak to someone about what they saw. We need to reach out to them because this is troubling many people in the town of Jasper, Texas. It's time to give our family closure and justice to the victim, James Simmons. He was a loving person, loved by many, and did not deserve to be brutally murdered. And have it covered up is a hit and run. The Simmons family would like to thank you very much. We hope this appeal for help touches your heart and reaches out to you. May God bless you all.
Thank you for doing that. This is a very serious issue. My family has suffered this injustice for a while, and like I said, this case has brought the recent case that we're going through right now, and the whole town of Hemphill and Jasper and under investigation of what they just recently did is a disgrace before God and an injustice, and it's just horrific. And I'm speechless. You know, I haven't been able to be down for any marches or anything, but my heart is there. I'm speechless about the situation. I'm also speechless about black-on-black crime. If our First Lady, Michelle Obama, is an advocate for black-on-black crime in Chicago, which she is, which in 1 year Chicago had over 500 murders with black-on-black crime, then we have a problem. Texas, we have a problem. Not just in Chicago or California or whatever, but Texas, we have a problem. And as a family, we feel that there's a certain way to do things, and we feel that the justice system and the legal system is the way to do this. Because I would tell you this right here, right now, and I'm speaking from my heart and what I know. If it had been any other family or in California where the gangs are real, in Compton, LA, they would have handled it themselves. They would have handled it and took a lot of people out. But when you have a godly foundation, it's just not the way to do things. That's not the way to do things, because you do reap what you sow in the end. And I want the people to know on Facebook, the Twitter community, there is no hate, there is no anger inside of me. I have totally forgiven. But there's something that you have to draw the line. You see, a lot of you write me and say, well, oh, you should forgive Well, listen, I have forgiven. But that does not mean that I have to forget about justice. Even though it was black people, and I won't call them my own black people, just people of my race that committed this crime, whether they had to say so from a higher power to commit this crime. And right now, that's what it seems like, that they had to say so to go ahead and commit this crime, or else Officer James Poindexter would be investigating this crime the way it needed to be investigated. And Chief Todd Hunter, who was the chief at that time, would have took action and investigated that crime, and the murder of my brother, James Simmons, would not have been written off as an auto pedestrian accident. It's a total fabrication. It's not true. It's not true. It didn't happen like that. We believe that there were witnesses. The streets do talk. We believe that there were witnesses there and people who can tell us what happened. If you won't talk right now, well, maybe you will talk with the lawyer and the investigator when they come to talk to you. Because you have to remember, if you have a family, if you have kids and sons and daughters, and if you say you love God and love Jesus, then you ought to have some type of conscience. You ought to have some type of conscience or something that's troubling you where you can't sleep at night or where you can't live with yourself. There has to come a point in a time where you have to say, well, we knew him. We knew James. We knew he wasn't a troublemaker. We knew he was called out of his house to his death and his murder. And it was plotted and set up. And he was killed. It comes a point in time where you have to do the right thing and make the right decision. Please, and we're reaching out to you. I need to get answers from my daughters. We live with this daily. We're haunted by this. And I believe this year is the year of exposure and the year that people will come forward and talk about it. I have to be strong. I have to be a strong black woman, no matter who wants me to sit down and be quiet. I'm not fearful of anything because I have God on my side and God protecting. When you walk with God, you don't have to walk looking behind your back and wondering what's going to happen. Because let me tell you something. Jesus Christ was martyred. And many of you may not know what that means, to be martyred. His disciples were martyred. And when you're martyred, that means you are brutally killed. Plotted on to be killed. And awful things are done to you. Won't say what we know happened to James or some of the horrible heathenistic things that he had to suffer when he begged for his life that night. But it was not a good picture. We know that at all. But I'm just trying to tell you that it could be someone you love. It could be your family member. It could be the same people, if allowed to run free and commit these type of vile, foul acts and for it to be covered up. I'll be making more of these videos as I'm getting in contact with lawyers and investigators. Hemphill, you've been exposed. And I'm so glad. And I thank God for it. And I think that they all should be locked up, the ones who had to do something in the murder of Alfred Wright. And I think that it should move swiftly before the perpetrators or the murderers, white racists who did it, have a chance to say, well, I don't want to go to jail. I'll just kill myself or take the easy way out. No, you need to suffer. You need to suffer the way he suffered. You need to suffer for your vile and foul criminal activity. Just as those of you who murdered my brother, James Simmons, you need to suffer for your vile and foul criminal activity. You need to know that you cannot kill and get away with it and walk around the town as nothing has ever happened, make a mockery and a joke about it. You can't do this in America and get away with it, only if the community lets you and allows you to do it. And I refuse. Although, and I'll make this plea again and tell you again, I forgive you. Can you see my eyes? I forgive you. I truly and honestly forgive you, but you have to pay for what you've done. You have to pay, and it's time to pay for what you've done. I'll let this segment come to an end. We're sitting here. We got young dirty bastard somewhere, old dirty bastard son. He's in the house. We're doing some recording tonight. We're making a CD compilation for nonviolence. Go get him. We're making a CD for nonviolence, and we're hoping to reach out to the youth in the community by making positive music, telling kids about the importance of staying in school, about drugs. I mean, we can't reach those as 20 and 18 and 19, but we sure can reach those as 9 and 10 and give them a chance to let them know about education, drugs, school, gangs, guns, violence. You don't have to be a part of a gang. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You don't have to be with people who commit criminal activity and watch it and see it and keep silent and seal your mouth as though you've never seen it. Because once you've seen it, then you'll always know it, and it'll always be with you. So, just really don't know what else to say to Jasper, Texas at the point, because I'm somewhat disappointed. But I know that God has He has the answer to this thing, and I know that it will be a full circle glory. It will be a full circle. I know it will be. Because I believe if it wasn't going to be, God would have never had me to make the song a full circle glory. You know, it's been a long time coming. It really has been a long time coming. And I listened to the song that Alfred Wright, he sung, A Long Time Coming, and it really touched my heart. It really touched me, really deep down inside, because it made me think about a lot of things and a lot of murders in Jasper, Texas that's gone unsolved. It has been a long time coming. And you know what? Change is going to come. But change is only going to come through prayer and through doing something. Not just prayer alone, but doing something about it. A movement, standing up. We always need prayer. We need to go in prayer. The first thing needs to be prayer. But then action needs to take place. I guess I'll just conclude this segment and hope to come forward to you and in the next couple days or whatever I plan to get with family members, lawyers, attorneys, investigators to bring this thing to where it needs to be so people can feel like the ones who saw this or the ones who know something can feel like they have the proper people and the proper channels to go through. But we want to thank you, and I want my girls, if they want to say anything here about James, that you can say something. Nikki, you want to say a little bit something about James, your uncle? Lolita.
How I feel about it is they pretty much covered about how I feel about it, but that was the closest uncle to me. He was the middle, I was the middle, and you took something from me. He meant a lot to me.
It's okay. You can say something, Nikki. Go ahead. It's too hard for her to say something.
Well, I just wanted to say that I miss my uncle very much.
That's good. That's good.
And please come forward if you know anything. Come forward and say something about it.
And we want to thank everybody for taking our time.
May God bless you all.
May God bless you all. We just want to take this time out to thank all of you for taking the time to listen to us tonight. And before we end this segment, we want Young Dirty to come forward and maybe speak with us. He can sit here. You don't have to get up. And
peace. I'm here to make this family strong. You know, I just came.
Well, tell them who you are, because we got a celebrity right here and have many more coming through.
Yeah, I'm the son of Old Dirty Bastard. You know, he was a legendary rapper, and a lot of crooked things happened to him as well. You know, the government been after him. All I'm trying to ask is if the government could do something righteous this time and not stay just, you know, damn.
Yeah,
It's just a crazy world outside. That's what I'm trying to say. Ain't too much I can say, you know, it's a lot of people listening. I'm Young Dirty Bastard, and I'm here to support this family.
But you are going to be on the compilation CD with us for the nonviolent compilation, and we're making that track right now. He's been doing the track with my daughter Jasmine, who's a wonderful singer, and he's a wonderful rapper, And like I said, we'll be dealing with a lot of more celebrity rappers for the cause to speak out to the youth, to give something positive back. And just want you to know we have a lot of good things in work, and hopefully through this tragedy and other tragedies that families will be able to get to a point where they feel like they can speak out, not just on racist crimes, but crimes that blacks commit against one another, which also is race crime. If you commit a crime against your own black family and community. But this is a segment we put together tonight. We'll be coming back to you again with other people and just making a plea for you to listen to us. So we just want to thank you. We just thank you for listening to us tonight. And may God bless all of you. Thank you very much.